Well, hi, folks. I'm Chris Dorr. I'm the director here for Tennessee Gun Owners. And in this short video, I'm going to go over the two candidates who are running to be your next state representative right there in House District 67. This is Montgomery County. This would be places like Clarksville, Forest Hills, Charlestown Estates, New Providence, places like that. We're going to talk about Ronnie Glynn. He is the Democrat incumbent. We'll talk about him first, and then we'll switch over and talk about Jamie Dean Peltz. She's the Republican challenger in this district. She's trying to go fight an uphill battle to take out an incumbent. It's always a little bit harder, but we're going to go over both of these candidates and where they stand on your Second Amendment freedom so you guys can make a better choice about who you want representing you. It is no secret there is a lot on the line in these elections. So if you are pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment, pro-family, pro-life, pro-closed borders, pro not having your vote getting watered down by criminal illegals, you're going to want to watch this video. So I'll just jump right into it. I'm going to switch over to my red pen here first and foremost. They say in life that you can tell a lot about a person by who their friends are. Well, that has never been more true than in politics and the organizations that are funding and endorsing a campaign or a candidate. So with Ronnie Glynn here, this is the guy we're talking about. First and foremost, we'll jump all the way to the bottom. He is endorsed by Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg is the godfather of gun control in America. He is the financier of the efforts to pass gun control at the federal level and at the state level. He was the money behind the effort to pass red flag gun confiscation here in 2023, in the summer of 2023. And it means that Ronnie Glynn supports his gun control policies. So that's the first mark against Ronnie, the incumbent here. Let's take a look at some of the policies, though. Right out of the gate, I'm going to give him another X because he supports universal gun registration. Universal gun registration is simply giving the government the ability to track, trace, and register gun owners like they are some kind of sex offender. And criminals aren't affected by this law. It doesn't apply to them because they don't stand in line to register their guns. They simply steal them or they buy them from their buddies or whatever. It doesn't apply to them. So you have to ask yourself, well, why is somebody like Ronnie trying to pass that here in Tennessee? Well, the answer is simple. Joe Biden says it all the time. He says, ban them, ban assault weapons. Kamala Harris says, we're going to do mandatory gun buybacks. That's gun confiscation, and they can't do that unless they know who owns what guns. That's what Ronnie Glynn's universal gun registration is all about. He wants to pass it in Tennessee. The next time there's a mass shooting, he'll do everything he can to get that across the finish line. He also supports red flag gun confiscation. He was a huge supporter of that back in 2023 after the Nashville school shooting. Wanted to pass it. Red flag gun confiscation is the destruction of due process rights for gun owners. It simply allows someone to petition a judge to have your firearms taken away from you without you ever being charged, tried, or convicted of a crime. The first you would know about it is when your front door is getting no-knock raided at 5:30 in the morning. And then here's what Ronnie Glynn also supports. In that bill, he wants it so that if the petitioner can present evidence that somebody just acquired a firearm, that is evidence, that's justifiable cause to strip their firearms away from them with a red flag law or with a red flag order. Literally, Ronnie Glynn wants to make it so if you exercise your Second Amendment rights, that's grounds to take them away. So he earns another red X on that one. He supports mandatory gun lockups. Kamala Harris herself just came out with a video. We saw it the other day. She said that they want to pass these laws so that state actors can invade the sanctity of your home. That's her words, not mine. And do government gun inspections. No, thank you. That's a total violation of your constitutional right to be secure in your person from unreasonable searches and seizures. And by the way, talk about storing your firearms in a proper manner. We never saw Ronnie Glynn come out and criticize his own party when President Biden withdrew out of Afghanistan and left over $8 billion worth of real weapons of war on the streets of Afghanistan that is now being used and paraded by Taliban terrorists against the people of Afghanistan that were formerly our allies. So you see the hypocrisy revealing itself very quickly here with Ronnie Glynn. He supports repealing our constitutional carry law. constitutional carry is not even controversial anymore. It simply gets government out of the rights regulation business. Ronnie Glynn wants government to regulate what is not given to us by government. It says very clearly in our founding documents that these are inalienable rights endowed on us by our Creator. Well, if they're endowed on us by our Creator, they're not the government's to regulate. But Ronnie Glynn wants to do exactly that. He wants to repeal Tennessee's self-defense laws. He wants to make it so that the law favors the criminal instead of the citizen. Ronnie Glynn wants you to be able to, he wants you to be forced to prove to a judge, if you're ever forced to use self-defense against a thug or a criminal or whatever, he wants you to be able to prove to a judge and to a jury that you tried to retreat from the situation before you're allowed to use action to defend yourselves. Now, anybody who has a kid or any parent in the world sits here and thinks to themselves, that's ridiculous. I'm going to immediately work to defend my kids from a kidnapper or a killer or a violent criminal. I'm not going, but he wants you to stop and pause. And that stop and pause can mean life and death. But again, they want the law to favor the criminal rather than the citizen. That's Ronnie Glynn for you. He supports banning AR-15s, of course. He's the typical garden variety activist leftist. Wants to ban AR-15s. They don't just want to stop there. Ronnie Glynn also wants to ban Ruger 1022s, Marlin Model 60s, Remington 1187 shotguns, Glock 19s, Glock 43Xs, all those firearms that you use to defend yourself and your family. Ronnie Glynn wants them outlawed. So that's an absolute tragedy for you right there. That's Ronnie Glynn. Let's talk about the Republican in this situation, though, here, because I want to end this on a good note. Jamie Dean Peltz, this lady, my goodness. First and foremost, let's jump all the way to the end here. She filled out and returned her Tennessee gun owners candidate survey 100% pro-gun. She's a no on universal gun registration, no on red flag gun confiscation, no on banning AR-15s. Yes, on passing the Second Amendment Protection Act. Fantastic. She wants to go on offense. Jamie Dean Peltz wants to go on offense and reclaim ground. Second Amendment Protection Act simply says that Tennessee cops, which are paid for by Tennessee taxpayers to enforce Tennessee laws, cannot be commandeered by the feds to enforce federal gun control laws. Jamie, that's fantastic. Good stuff. Yes, on overhauling our constitutional carry and self-defense statutes. We got the meat and potatoes passed, but we've got some work to do. But that's Jamie Dean Peltz. I'm going to give her an A. You know what? I forgot to give old Ronnie here a grade. F for that guy. F for that guy. Yeah. If you see Jamie Dean Peltz on the campaign trail, tell her thank you for having the courage of her conviction to go on record. So many Republicans are like, so many candidates are like, oh, let's not do anything controversial. Well, no, she came out and said, I say what I believe and I believe what I say. I'm going to go on record. She filled it out 100% program. If you see Ronnie Glynn on the campaign trail, tell him that this is not those sissy Brits in England. This is not House District 67 is not 1940s Germany. We don't do this stuff here. I guess last but not least, I'd ask you folks, please share this video with everybody you know that's pro-gun, your friends, your family, your loved ones, your coworkers, your neighbors, your barbershop, your grade school teacher. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot on the line in these elections. A lot is at stake, and it's never been more important that we elect fighters for freedom, not just people who are going to sit on the bench and sit idly by as things get watered down. So on November 5th, round up all of those friends, head down to your local polls, and vote pro-gun.